morning, grade 7. Let us continue with Renaissance. What were the factors that led to the rise of Renaissance? So what were the factors? Crusades, fall of Constantinople, new trade routes, decline of feudalism, invention of printing press. Crusades were what? Crusades were holy wars, if you remember. Crusades were religious wars fought between Christians and Muslims during the medieval period. As a result, many intellectual Western scholars came into direct contact with the people of Asia. Subsequently, it widened their outlook on life and encouraged a new era in learning. That is what Crusades were. Fall of Constantinople. What was the reason for fall of Constantinople? Constantinople was the capital of Eastern Roman Empire and was the center of Greek and Roman culture. Constantinople was a very important place. After the fall of Constantinople to the Ottoman Empire in 1453 CE, a large number of Greek and Roman scholars and artists fled to different parts of Europe. After the Constantinople fell down, after the Ottoman Empire ruled over Constantinople, a large number of Greek and Roman scholars and artists, they ran away from Constantinople, and they went to different parts of Europe. The subsequent revival of Greek and Roman studies led to the development of Renaissance. Now this led to the development of Renaissance. Now new trade routes. I talked about this earlier also. In 1453 CE, after the capture of Constantinople by the Turks, the trade routes between the west and the east were closed. Now what happened was, after the Constantinople was captured by the Turks, the trade routes between west and the east were closed. Now the land routes were closed. Now they had to find out new routes, and the new routes that they found out were sea routes. Therefore, the European traders and navigators fell for the need to discover new sea routes. Ferdinand Magellan, Vasco da Gama, Christopher Columbus were popular names associated with geographical exploration and the discovery of new trade routes. Decline of feudalism. The middle class played a very important role in the Renaissance. The rise of the middle class led to the decline of feudalism. The feudal lords, they actually declined. As a result, the Renaissance was able to flourish. Invention of printing press. Now printing press was invented. The printing press was invented by Johannes Gutenberg in the year 1456. Where? In Germany. The invention made it possible to produce books in large numbers. Now if books were produced in large numbers, they could be read by the masses. The Bible and many other religious books and classical books were printed and made available all over the world. Printing made the spread of literacy and new ideas easier, therefore influencing people towards life. Now let's talk about Italy. Italy was what? Italy was the birthplace of Renaissance. Italy was the birthplace of Renaissance. By the early 16th century, Italy was divided into very small states such as Milan, Venice, Florence, Naples, Rome. They were called together the states of the church and became very important centers of trade, art and culture. The Italian cities were free from feudalism, which encouraged them to think and develop spirit of adventure. Following were the important reasons of Italy being the birthplace. Now you need to learn about why Italy was the birthplace of Renaissance. The first was, Italy was the seat of the great Roman Empire. Roman relics and historical remains attracted number of scholars and artists. Now, second was, a large number of Greek scholars and artists and thinkers migrated to Italy as a result of the fall of Constantinople with original manuscripts and treasures. Now they had come to Italy with a large number of treasures, and the treasures were in the forms of manuscripts and books. These scholars not only instilled the spirit of inquiry, inquisitiveness and enthusiasm among the people of Italy, and encouraged a large number of Italian artists and men of letters to produce masterpieces of art and literature. Now, this is the reason why now if you go to Italy, you will see such masterpieces of art and literature there. The enormous wealth which Italy had accumulated as a result of trade with East also contributed to the rise of Renaissance. The wealthy merchants of Italy patronized the artists and literary figures and used their wealth for the revival of classical culture and literature. Now, what I want you to do, although a little bit is there in about the Medici family, but I want you all to Google about the Medici family and learn a little more about the Medici family. Who was the Medici family? The Medici family was one of the wealthiest family in Europe. Cosimo de' Medici, the founder of one of the main lines of the Medici family, was the leading patron of the Renaissance. He spent huge sum of money for buying books, copies of ancient Greek and Roman manuscripts, and these collections were made available in the libraries of Florence. His son Lorenzo de' Medici sponsored Leonardo. He paid Leonardo da Vinci to make and Michelangelo to create these masterpieces. He is also known as Lorenzo the Magnificent. As a result of crusade and geographical exploration, the Italians came into contact with the East. This greatly broadened their horizons and provided an impetus of Renaissance. Please read about this in great detail. Take care. Thank you.